What it do, baby boo? Who is that strange voice you hear? It's not Trust and Truth. This time it's Brother My Redemption. And maybe my voice isn't so strange from him after all because we're twins. But anyways, I figured I would put out a video this time because my brother's always uploading commentaries to our channel and I thought, why don't I give it a go? So this is a gameplay of me playing on Meltdown, Hardpoint, and it's multi-team where I'm playing with my brother and my friend Crabs for Grabs. In this gameplay, you can see that I'm using MSMC with Red Dot and Fast Mags, Lightweight, Scavenger, and Extreme Conditioning. I don't often use the MSMC, and I say that as I have it gold, but in this gameplay I was just trying to master it to get those last two titles for it because I have recently gotten all guns diamond, and so now my objective before the Peacekeeper comes out is to try to get the titles for all the weapons and stuff that I need to finish. And so I figured I would, in this commentary, I would talk about the most successful way that I was able to get diamond camo on all the weapons and maybe some tips to help with that. We'll start with the pistols. For the pistols, they weren't as bad as I thought they were going to be. I just used them by themselves, and instead of being able to shoot stuff down because you can't have two secondaries, I used the black hat instead in case I had to destroy UAVs for my team. But I was using the pistols with secondary gunfire, and for the most part, I used the same attachments on all of them, which was like extended clip and either long barrel or the steady aim. The only exception to that was the Executioner, which I used not extended mag. I used steady aim, I believe, and fast mag because the reload took forever on that one. For all of the pistols, I would recommend putting on stuns. Stuns were able to, if you come behind someone or if you even see someone, you're able to stun them unless they attack mass. Attack mass oftentimes, or not oftentimes, but sometimes screwed me over because I would think that I would be able to stun them and they would be able to turn around so fast because attack mass almost pretty much makes stuns useless. But for the most part, I would use stuns on the pistols and then come up behind someone and then easily get the headshots. For me, they didn't really take that long, and I know for the B23R, which is probably the easiest one for myself, I ended up finishing with like a 2.47 KD with it, so that was high. That's higher than what my KD is anyway, so it didn't really hurt my KD. They just took a little longer. And for the assault shield and like the crossbow and the ballistic knife, for the specials like those, the crossbow and the ballistic knife, I know I played a lot of sticks and stones and I got both of them almost in one day by playing sticks and stones because they weren't too bad. The hardest part, which I know pissed me off after a while, was trying to get the crossbow, the bloodthirsty, and I didn't try to do it in I tried to do it in some ground war, and I kept getting killed from behind. I would get like 3 or 4, and I would try to run and go get a scavenger pack, and I would die as I was trying to get it. So then I ended up just trying to do it in sticks and stones, and then for sticks and stones you only get 6 arrows, so you have to hit 5 out of the 6 arrows or you're not going to be able to do it. So I know it took me several games in order to do that, but after a while I got it. So that was the hardest part with the crossbow and ballistic knife, but I would definitely recommend playing sticks and stones. For the assault shield, I played a lot of multi-team with friends, and they helped me out by stunning people or they wouldn't kill someone that I stunned. So I was able to get the kills for the assault shield relatively fast by stunning people in multi-team. Because a lot of the times we just play bad people in multi-team. So that was easy for the assault shield. It wasn't too bad, though it was probably one of the harder ones. For the launchers, the RPG and the small, the 100 kills just came over time, but that only took, for those that only took a day on themselves because it's not too hard to get 100 kills with either of them. But I made sure I had scavenger on them so I could get the most shots I could. And then for the FHJ, that one just came over time. Since MW3 where there was UAV spam, I've always used a launcher on most of my classes. So it's the same in Black Ops 2 where I've used the launcher on most of my classes. So that one, once I got those, it wasn't bad. But for destroying the score streaks and stuff, I played a lot of ground war by myself to shoot that down. And I know for the RPG, the triple kill, I got that. I'll have a clip of that later on, and maybe a montage we're thinking about putting together where I got a triple kill and then I get 2 more kills with RPG. So that one actually came in a game. I think maybe it was hardcore when I got that. But I was playing by myself, and then I was able to shoot down a kill streak of VTOL Worship by going right under it. And I got that in Ground War, so I was pretty happy about that. So that and the small weren't that bad, nor with the FHJ. It just took a little while to get the score streaks. But for the primaries, I'm a big assault rifle guy, so the assault rifles, they didn't take that long, because I used 9 out of 10 of them, I think. Or I used 7 out of 9 of them. I don't think it's 10. I think it's 7 out of 9 I use. I don't use the SMR or the Type 25. So by the time I went back to going for all diamond guns, I put on the SMR and the Type, and I think the hardest thing with them is just getting the long shots. I don't think without perks and attachments, it's not that bad if you're playing with a good team where kill streaks aren't constantly thrown up against you. But other than that, I thought the hardest thing was probably the long shot, especially in the Type 25, because it takes so long to kill from a distance. The SMGs, I think the longest one was the Chitcom for me. That one took a little while to do. I think it took me like 1,300 kills. It wasn't a bad gun. It didn't hurt my KD or anything, but I don't know, I just couldn't get the headshot. So that one took a while. But I think the SMGs are probably the easiest thing to get when it comes to bloodthirsties and revenge. Revenge medals take a while for the SMGs. And I think it's revenge for pistols as well, and I know that took me a while, because I would have the 150 without perks and attachments done, and I would have to do the revenge medals. And so it came to the point where I would memorize who killed me and try to go and find where that player was. But other than that, I thought the SMGs and the assault rifles weren't that bad. The shotguns were a pain in the butt a little bit. The KSG was the shotgun I started off using, because I thought coming into the game that was the gun I was going to use. Here I get almost, side note here, I almost get I come close to a nuclear, but this guy that I just killed spawns behind me, and I don't turn quick enough on the platform, and he kills me. But anyways, the shotguns, the KSG I started off using, so that wasn't that hard to get for me. It didn't take that long, and then I started doing the R870 and the S12 I did kind of at the same time. And those weren't too bad. The S12, the one-shot kills, was a little worse than the R870. And then the M216 was a little rougher for me. I didn't play any hardcore for that, but it took a little longer. I think I used, I want to say fast mags and steady aim. And then I would do the same thing kind of with the pistols, where I would stun them. Same thing kind of with the S12 as well. I would stun the person and then come right on top of them and aim for the head to try to get the one-shot kill. But that, like, over time, playing in multi-team, didn't take that long as well. And then to get I think that one's revenge as well, but that wasn't as bad. So really the hard thing for those is just to getting the one-shot kills. And then the snipers were a little tricky. Not the DSR or the Ballista, but the XPR and the SVU took a while for me to get one-shot kills. And I played a lot by myself doing them in Ground War. But other than that, they weren't that bad. It was just getting the one-shot kills. I found that the Ballista and the DSR were harder to get the bloodthirsties than the SVU and the XPR. I guess since you can kind of spam the trigger for those. And then finally, the light machine guns, I thought they were going to be harder than they were. But the light machine guns were rather easy to get the headshots with. I ran a lot of Red Dot and Reflect. Oh no, Red Dot and FMJ. I ran FMJ on them because I didn't think Quick Draw was that useful. But those weren't hard to get either. But this gameplay is wrapping up. I think I finished 76-3, and it's with an SMG, so it's nothing special. I used a lot of Sentry Gun and AGR, but it wasn't a bad game. So join us next time when we come out with another commentary. It'll probably be Trust and Truth in there.